This is called exploding the myths, thinking like a digital native. One of the biggest challenges I think agencies face is adapting to the changes in digital technology. The digital landscape is so broad. You know, we're talking about different devices, we're talking about different channels, we're talking about the Internet of Things, connectivity between devices. So when we talk about digital, we talk about it not being a fixed medium and the variables of influence on the experience the end user has with the product. You're going to hear me talk a lot today about experience, the user experience and how the user interacts with devices, with products. What we aim to give them is a framework for which they can take away and approach a digital project. A series of steps that they can go through and with the knowledge of what are the questions they need to ask, who do they need to ask, understanding the roles of the digital team, the different points at which they interact with those roles and the outputs of each phase of delivery. This is typically the way most agencies I know work. So the sort of brief comes in from the client wants to do something, the agency writes the brief of sorts. We then go to a bit of scoping, which is a bit of discovery and definition, specification. We do the concept, do a bit of design, review that with the client, do some copy development, etc. And then we go into build. And then the client might see that. So we do it in a very linear fashion. Whereas Agile, what we're saying is this becomes a circle and we do each of these bits for 2 weeks and then we move on to the next. So we're kind of constantly defining and refining what we're doing. So at the end of the 10 weeks, you're never really 100% sure what you're going to get or how you're going to get it. But ultimately the client is likely to get the product they want because they've defined it as they go along. The research that's gone into the programme is largely drawn from our own experience of delivering digital projects. There's some industry-wide standards that we've adapted and utilised as part of the training course, but ultimately it's around what we've learned over the last 20 odd years in digital delivery. What we do have is a RACI matrix. Reiki, you all heard that? Okay. Responsible, accountable, consulted or informed. The key thing to note is that at each stage what we're saying is people are consulted or informed. I can't stress enough that digital is a collaborative exercise.
I feel much more confident in being able to kind of speak the language of digital marketing and be on the same wavelength and sort of understand the different processes involved. And then once I have that, to be able to contribute, so it gives a really comprehensive overview. For me, the biggest takeout was the evaluation and being able to put some metrics onto the campaigns that we do.
I think the content of the workshop was really good, a lot of information, and the fact that he included examples from his own background in the tech industry really added substance to everything that we were taught. It made each point stronger, and it made it easier to understand as well, instead of just textbook kind of teaching. It had examples to back it up.
We've been in the industry a long time and have seen it all, as it were. So we understand where the pitfalls are and we understand where things go wrong. And what we're trying to do is bring those learnings to the people who attend our courses.